Good afternoon, everybody. How are we doing today? Welcome back to another reading. This afternoon, we're going to be doing a reading for all those rabbit people out there, all the rabbit personalities and those born in the year of the rabbit. And on that note, I must say and offer my condolences to the rabbit people as they have now left that rabbit year that they would have been so comfortable in and now moved into this dragon year, which is going to be way out of their comfort zone. But hey, Happy New Year! Happy New Year to everybody out there that's tuning in today. Welcome to the Year of the Dragon, the Wood Dragon to be precise. You may have noticed that I've taken away the intro. There's a reason for that. It was because I don't want to waste your time, my time, or keep having to go through the whole editing and remembering to put it in and stuff. And it was only there for kind of more educational purposes to show people the order of the Chinese zodiac. And now I think people have kind of got the gist of the order of which the animals come in. And if you're unsure, then you can check out the playlists and look at the order the playlists are in. And you can see where the order kind of comes in. But on that note, another thing that I'm going to be doing in the future, specifically on a Sunday, so make sure you hit that subscribe button, is doing more videos talking about the Chinese zodiac in general. So we're going to be talking about compatibilities, conflicts, the circle of conflict, those affinity triangles, the personalities, where it originates from, different versions of it, and history of it, and all of this on Sundays. So do please hit the subscribe button so we can, get that channel out there and bring the people in so that they can benefit from the glory which is the Chinese zodiac. It is appreciated. No, it is. It really is. Anyway, let's see what's going on with my lovely bunnies this week. How are we feeling? Let's see. Let's stop there. So we've got one from the bottom, one from the middle, and one from the top. So what have we got here? That one, that one, that one. We got black tiger and then two whites. Interesting. Very, very interesting. So you're in that black tiger part coming out of that black tiger right now. As you left the year of the rabbit, you were in that black tiger. As you've come into that year of the dragon, you're now in that white place. And I think realistically, that is because the rabbit is more compatible with the dragon than I feel it is with that tiger energy that has been dominant that week for the rabbit. I feel like there's been potentially a lack of communication. There's been you don't want to talk. You don't want to talk. You're bottling things up. You've gone conservative. You've gone, I want to keep the peace, and if this conversation is allowed to be had, then or allowed to continue, it's not going to end in peace. It's going to end in probably an argument. It's going to end in some sort of loud, hot-tempered, just furious chaos. I feel that there's going to be a lack of sympathy here for all situations, and that's why you don't want to talk about it. You don't want to talk. You want to keep in ignorance. Your ignorance is bliss. Your illusion of peace is harmonic to you. So you're just going to stay there and pretend everything's okay. You want to avoid that situation. You're trying to avoid the situations where you're going to have to defend yourself or have to fight back or be drawn into an argument or what could potentially result in an argument. That's what you're trying to avoid right there. And I don't think that's going to work well for you because that tiger is black. So I think that with that black tiger as it is, you're in a position where you hiding is actually making things worse. I feel that if you were to talk about this, yes, you're probably right. You are going to get yourself into an argument. You are going to get yourself into some sort of discussion that isn't going to be something that you enjoy. And I think that that's potentially the catalyst here. You're avoiding the catalyst. You're avoiding a catalyst or some sort of karmic thing here. That tiger is basically there to, as I say, hold you back, make you conservative, make you a little bit more on edge, more so than you would usually be. Because you don't necessarily have a bad temper. You don't necessarily get pissed off very easily. And it's because you avoid situations like this. But this isn't an ordinary situation. As I say, you're avoiding something. And you're avoiding this discussion. And I think it is because it's a change. It's either karmic or a catalyst, I feel. But you're going into the white area, but there we go, there's the catalyst. There you are. There's the white catalyst goat. The sheep is a catalyst card. It's part of the catalyst triangle. That's an interesting one because it's not the rabbit or the pig, which is kind of like the more subtle catalyst card. No, this is the sheep. This is the horns. This is pushing you now. Like, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Of course, the sheep, the goat, that is in your triangle. So it is compatible with you and it is positive. So potentially you're in a place right now where you feel like your bliss, your ignorance is actually paying off. It's actually paying off. It's like you're staring at the sun, but you're not necessarily paying attention to the rain clouds behind you. There's like a hurricane, tidal wave, and a forest fire all behind you. And instead of acknowledging it, instead of recognizing it, instead of actually going, oh, okay, there's a problem here, you've turned around and you're looking at the sun, you're looking at the beautiful view, you're looking at the picturesque sort of scene in front of you, and you're not paying attention to what is behind you. And I feel this is going to be really bad for you in a way, because you're sure about it, and that's the problem. You feel really sure that you're okay. And I think that expectation that everything's going to be okay, that isn't going to bode well for you. And I think that the contributions that you're putting into this, because your contributions are very minimal here, because that's what you've done. You've gone conservative. You've gone, let's hide away from the problem to keep the peace. And because of this, I do think that you're basically denying yourself from this catalytic moment where you would rather hide from it than face it, and therefore nothing will change. And because nothing will change, you're going to be shoved right into it when you least expect it. That's the kind of goat sheep kind of catalyst. Like when you're on a farm or a petting zoo and you think everything's fine as you're feeding, I don't know, a goat or feeding a sheep or whatever, and then all of a sudden it turns around and it just rams you and it headbutts you. And you're like, what's going on? What's happening? Well, that's what's going to happen. It's going to headbutt you. But I don't feel that this is going to be a bad thing. I think that you're denying yourself something that is actually potentially really good because you're scared of the processes it takes to get there. Like, you don't want the discussions. It's like you really want the job, but you don't want to sit and have the interview. You don't want to sit in the interview and you don't want to do that part of it. Do you know what I mean? You're hiding from something which is potentially one of the better things that is going to happen for you. And as you come into that now, and that rooster card pops up, it's still positive. But that's your conflict. So you are in a conflicted place. The rooster and the rabbit are conflict signs. You're both conflicts. You've got that catalyst there, as I had previously said. I said karmic or catalyst. I didn't think conflict. So this is actually quite bad. This does not look good. This now is going to lead into a place of difficulties. And it's white, which is really, really kind of telling me that you are so naive to this. You're choosing to ignore it. It's not even ignorance, actually. This isn't ignorance. This is pure arrogance to it. It can't touch me. This can't faze me. This is almost egotistical. This is almost narcissistic. This is almost, I'm not going to be fazed by this because it can't touch me. Nothing can get me when I'm down in my burrow. Nothing can get me while I'm down here in my warren, nice and safe and away from everybody. But you are wrong, my little bunny friends. You need to address this. You need to address this. And that rooster's coming in because conflict is happening. And that rooster's going to cockle-doodle-doo. It's not being quiet. It's not being quiet here. The longer you wait, the bigger the explosion's going to be, the bigger the problem, the bigger the mess, the bigger the issue. This conflict is stemming from the communication issue. This conflict stems because of a lack of communication and comprehension. You're not taking the time to understand the situation, you're running from it. You're not taking the time to talk about it, you're hiding from it. You're not taking the opportunity to actually discuss the issues here because you're naive to think that if you ignore them, they will disappear. You're arrogant enough to think that if you remain conservative, you are going to be shielded and protected from the stuff that is on its way or the storm that is oncoming. But that is not going to happen. That rooster is coming in there now, and it is going to, well, let's put it this way. It is going to break down all etiquette. It's going to break down all normal social norms and decorums. It's going to kick down that door. It's going to cockle-doodle-doo. It's going to be loud. It is going to be quite catastrophic for you because the rooster's coming out on top. The rooster's coming out on top. And I feel for you right now, my lovely rabbit people, because this catalyst moment for you isn't taking you into a great place. And it's not going to go well for you if you keep hiding from it. This tiger card here, this is definitely, I'm going to be conservative. I'm going to be sulking and hiding and protecting myself. This is a protection card. Right here, that's protection. That's a protective triangle, and that's a protection card. You're trying to protect yourself. But this is a catalyst card. Now, that's compatible with you. That's compatible with you. It's compatible the place that you want to be, hiding and keeping yourself to yourself and not addressing. This is compatible. These two are compatible with you because the tiger is compatible to you, with you to a degree, to a certain degree. The goat, however, is more so. This is a catalyst card. This card is saying that if you were to embrace or allow this conversation to happen, although it won't actually be a good conversation, it could be an argument. The result of it is that as it ends, you're going to be pushed into a more positive place where it will get better. But the more you deny it, the more you're going to make it worse for yourself. It's actually a case of things are going to get better if you allow it. Things are going to get worse if you don't. And when I say get better, I mean this could be a long-term thing. If you go to the interview and you actually put the kind of time and effort in to actually sit down and have that discussion at the interview or with an employer, okay, you might not get that job, but it will give you that sort of motivation or the experience to get the next job. Okay, you know, you may not want to have this discussion with a partner about, you know, what's best for the relationship, but if you do, things might actually start looking up and actually getting better. Maybe not even within that relationship. Maybe with your next relationship. If you take your car to the garage, you may not like the fact that they found a problem with the brakes and you need 3 new tires and you need a whole new whatever, because you'll get those repairs done and the car will be better for it. Or perhaps you won't and you'll need to get it scrapped, but then you'll buy a new car and that new car will be a better car. And it will work out better for you in the long term because this is a catalyst moment. And unfortunately, you've denied it, which has now allowed it to kind of evolve into a conflict. And that conflict is going to make it so much worse and harder now because you're fighting against something that it's not meant for you. It's just, you are in the wrong relationship, you're in the wrong job, you have the wrong car, you're doing the wrong thing, or you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, and the path is completely wrong. And the more you walk down this path, the more you try to stay where you are, the more conflicted it's going to get. That's why we've gone from this goat into the rooster now. But these two cards, the tiger there and that white goat, they were the warning. This is the warning presently. These cards here they're not bad. So these aren't against you, you're against yourself. There's nothing coming up against you. It's just you don't want to accept responsibility. You don't want to accept accountability. You don't want to be told that you fucked up. You don't want to be told that you've been doing the wrong thing. You don't want to be told no. That's what it is. You don't want to be told no. You don't want to sit the job interview because you don't want to be told that you haven't got the job. You don't want to propose to your partner because you don't want to be told no. You don't want to go out there and try and get a bank loan because you're worried that the bank's going to deny you or say, you know, no, this is what's happening. You don't want to suffer the consequences of the thing that you need to talk about or discuss. The thing at hand, this big thing, this isn't a temporary thing. This is a catalyst. Here is a catalyst. This is a conflict. That's how it is. I don't make up the cards. I don't pick the cards. The cards pick me. The cards pick you. That's how it works. And I don't make up the triangles or the conflicts. I didn't put the sheep in the triangle with the rabbit and the pig, and I didn't put the rooster in the conflict with the rabbit. That was not me. That's the cards, and that's where you're at. So you can keep running from it. You can keep hiding from it. You can keep trying to go the rabbit way about it, where you're not going to acknowledge it and hope it goes away. But at the end of the day, there's going to be a fight here. The tiger is a protective fighting card. The goat is a fuck with me and you're going to get the horns. And the rooster is a I've got spurs and I'm going to use them. And if you don't like it, then I'm going to be loud and proud about that and boastful where I've won and cock-a-doodly doodly do. You are in a conflict. You are in a situation that you right now need to deal with. And if you don't deal with this, it's just going to get worse. In fact, I am actually quite, I would say, intrigued to know what next week's cards are going to be for you, because this is leading up to something. This is like a fuse. This is the lighting the fuse. This is the fuse burning, and this is the explosion. That's literally what this is. Metaphorically speaking, this is the perfect lineup for that. You got that tiger there, which is in the negative. That's the fuse being lit. The catalyst moment is that fuse burning. And it's burning very, very quickly to the keg. And when that powder keg here explodes, you're not getting a normal conflict card there. You're getting your conflict card. That could have been any conflict. It could have been a dog. It could have been a dragon. It could have been any of these aggressive sort of, we're going to fight for what we believe in sort of cards. But this isn't something you believe in. It's just something that you don't want to lose. You don't want to say no. You don't want to be told no to. This isn't even something that you really want. You just don't want to lose it. You don't want to be told no. As I say, like, it's like a job interview. You want the job, but you don't want the interview. You don't want to put the hassle in. You want the relationship, but you don't want to put the effort in to keep it. You want the car, but you don't want to take it to the garage for an MOT. Do you know what I mean? You don't want to put the effort in, and that is the downfall. And I don't know what to suggest for you, because you're very sure of yourself right now, so I don't even think anybody can really talk you down out of this. Nobody's going to talk you out of your hole right now. You're quite happy sitting in your warren down there in the borough, and I think while you're down there, there's no coaxing you out. I just think that you're being oblivious to the fact, or ignoring the fact, that even though you think you're safe in the hole, the forest fire is coming, and that smoke is going to seep down there and it's going to smoke you out eventually. But we'll find out, won't we, next week when we come back, and we'll do the rabbit cards again. And I'm actually really excited about that, because I want to see how my lovely rabbit bunny friends are going to basically survive the first week of the dragon year. But don't forget, guys, that the dragon and the rabbit are very compatible. So, you know, you're in a good place. You will be in a good place. This is it's not a good place. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens next week when we come back for the rabbit reading next Tuesday afternoon. Tomorrow we'll be doing a reading for the dragons in the morning. The first dragon reading for the dragon year. And then we'll be doing the snake in the afternoon. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, give us a like, and I will see you then. Thank you for watching, guys.